So I
Yes.
drive back. I'd been gone for a few days. I had to go down to Tennessee for some things, and I come back Saturday. Got back about midday or so, and I was running around doing some stuff. I don't know what I was doing. I did two things. Oh, I took Johnny. Johnny was finally able to get his hands on an Xbox, and he went to pick it up the other day, and they said, "Are you Richard King?" He said, "No." So I had to go with him to get it. So that was the first thing I did, and I did something else. I went and I did some other errand. I can't remember what it was, but Emily said, "You want to go around the short block with Winnie?" I was like, "Of course." So we walked the dog around. We were gone maybe 10 or 15 minutes, maybe. And we walked in the house and Trevor says, "I have bad news." And I noticed immediately that everything was unusually dark in the house. I'm like, great, power's out. So, and of course it was about to snow and we had the Traeger going.
Oh yeah, it just started snowing, and the Traeger had wings on it.
Yes,
10 pounds of wings, nonetheless.
Yeah, and it just went kaput. So I was like,
I
was tired and I was cranky. I was like, I'm going to buy a generator. And Emily says, "Really?" And I go, "I'm going to buy it right now." So I ran over to Lowe's and I was looking, and I called her and I go, "Hey, which one do you want?" She goes, "Get the biggest one you can." I go, "Okay." So I talked to the lady.
Well, that's because the power's been going out.
It's been going. It's gone out twice in the past month.
Well, twice in the past week.
Right.
But then before that, our side of the street, freaking heck, is always the one that goes out.
Right.
On our side of the street.
And it's an older neighborhood, so I mean the infrastructure, I get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go and I say, "Where's this 8,000 watt? Do you have any of those in stock?" She says, "No, but Nobles has two." I was like, "Okay." So I get over to Noblesville and we get this. Me and this guy are able to wrestle this extraordinarily heavy generator onto the flat cart, and I get it out. We get it home, and we get it unboxed. And we finally, I've got the car in the driveway pointed into the garage with the headlights, everything running to try and
because now it's dark.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it together, and it's already dark, and so we're putting this thing together. We finally get it going. We crank it up, and it is loud as hell. I mean, it sounds like a Harley on steroids, and just wah. And but we got everything going. We got
wings.
TV going.
We had wings by whatever time it was.
Well,
10:30 at night.
The funny thing is that the wings.
Did you send Harrison the pictures?
No. The funny thing is the wings had already been on the Traeger for a bit, and when it went off, it just sat there. So we probably overcooked them slightly.
Yeah.
But anyway, the funny so
we plugged the Traeger into the generator.
So we have the generator and the Traeger, and I was looking at this first world problems right here, man. So anyway, we were watching, and the crew the outage appeared to be right behind
our house.
So their crews were working and stuff, and then So anyway, it was dark, so we were looking out, and Emily said, "Why do the people over there have their power?"
Yeah, I was staring out the back
window.
And she
goes, and I was like, "I don't know."
Their floodlights are off, and they were part of the group.
Yeah, the grid.
It was like this cone shape down our neighborhood, down our street.
And then she goes outside, and she goes, "The neighbors have power." And I was like, "What?" So we go out there, and I go, "What? How does everybody have power but us?" And then Emily said, "Oh my God, go check the breaker." So last week I'd done something with we were putting the dishwasher in. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, come here." And he goes, "Can I do it?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "This is the main breaker. You turn this off, to turn everything off." So we go down there, and the ottoman is below the breaker box, and the main is off.
The main is off because he went down there when it went off. He was convinced that it was our house. It was just our house. The power was out just at our house. The breaker had probably been flipped. He needed to flip the breaker in order to fix the problem because it was just our house.
Yeah.
And I was like, "It's not. Look on the street. It's everybody." And he's like, "You can't tell. No one else has their lights on. Like, it's just us. It's our house." And I'm like, "Calvin, it is not just our house." Well, anyway, he went down there, and you know how it's on.
Yeah.
When the power goes out, it just stays on.
Yeah.
Well,
turns it off.
He turned it off, but then you can't turn it back on when the power's off.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, it wasn't. He couldn't turn it back on.
Well, because it's hard. It's easy to flip it down.
And then he tried to flip it back up.
Flip it back up.
Yeah. So that next morning, I was like, "Yeah, Dad went downstairs and." We were laughing because I was telling him, I said, "You know what happened?" I said, "After you fell asleep last night, we didn't realize that the power was off at our own house because our own circuit breaker was off. And then I realized that you had been down there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that was me."
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
So we didn't sit too long with the generator. I'm sure the neighbors were like, "Why do they have the generator still going?"
The thing is loud as heck.
Like, the power's on. Why do you have the generator going?
Right.
Although we wouldn't have been able to switch it over if the Traeger wasn't done because then it shuts the Traeger off.
Yeah, but they were pretty much done, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that. That was our escapade for the weekend, and yeah,